Hey guys! So we're gonna do another one. This one's much bigger. I ordered this one off of Amazon. I'll give you the details in my description. Man, it is cold and snowy and bright outside. That's why my glasses are all dark. Sorry guys. But you wanna know how snowy it is outside? I'll show you. Oh, hi. It snowed. It's very cold and very bright. So yeah, it's cold out. So we'll go inside and we'll see. We'll start unboxing and see what goodies are inside. All right, so here we go again. This time we're going much bigger. This is the traditional Courtyard House or Bamboo Creek Water Garden. There's a couple names. And this one is by GuDoQi. I probably mispronounced that, I'm sure. It's Chinese, but it looks really cool. Looks a little more Japanesey, tea house kind of look. I just liked all the plants and how it looked. When I opened this up, it had a lot of parts. It comes with a dust cover, which is pretty cool, and we'll visit that towards the end. It also has a lot of pages, and it looks like a roof, but it's for ages 14 on up, so it's definitely an advanced build. I always go through the manual first thing and read everything ahead of time, just so you kind of know what to expect. This one, it does give you all tips and tricks and how to do things. It even gives you a nice little chart of all the parts and pieces, which is really nice, and you will see it will come in handy because you're not sure which piece goes where. But there's about 22 pages, so we got quite the project ahead of us. All the pieces where it's all the wallpaper, the traditional things that come with these little dollhouses, the rocks and things like that, it came in one big sheet of paper. So the first thing I did was cut it apart, because that is just going to be a pain in the behind to keep track of otherwise. Now we're going to start getting into it. We're going to start with the kitchen sink, the very first thing on the first page. So it looks like a lot of little teeny tiny parts. I always gather all the parts and pieces for that one particular project. Otherwise you will go insane if you do a part, try to find another part. Just keep them all together and things will go nice and smooth. cutting all these little sushi rolls, I'm gonna assume that's what they are, I thought would be difficult. I am using the knife from my previous kit. It does not come with an X-Acto knife or glue or any of your tools. So it only came with the ruler and some tweezers. So definitely have to come prepared. Luckily I have everything, so it's not a big deal. This is another one where you definitely want the right tool for the project. I got my needle nose pliers here and was able to make the little loops. I've done a lot of wire work in the past, so this wasn't too difficult. But I definitely was missing my wire cutter. I had an old, very old rusty one that's used actually for our home repairs, and it was tricky, but it worked. Gluing these little handles on was a little fiddly, and I tried to hold it there for a while, and then eventually I just flipped it upside down and let it dry that way. It was much easier doing it rather than up in the air in my hands. And it did, my super glue does take a little while to dry, so I just set it aside and just moved on to the next project. This is a little burner or a little stove top, and I found my glue tip was way too gloopy, so I did eventually, after a while, I transferred it to a smaller bottle so that I can control the glue flow. Definitely helps for these teeny tiny little pieces. Now we're going to make the little faucet. Again, we're going to use my round nose pliers and just bend the top, super easy, and cut it off. I'm going to make a little jar. For some reason I didn't center my hands under the camera, so you don't see a lot of it. But you just basically make a little loop with a piece of wire and stack it all up, and it ends up looking like a little jar. It's super cute. now we're going to make the sliding doors on the bottom of the sink. And I just ended up gluing it directly onto the little burlap and then cutting it out and then trimming it down later on. I also used my multi-purpose brick that I use all the time. They had a little piece of mylar that they're going to use for the illusion of a sink, and you just cut it to shape, glue it to the bottom of it, and you're good. When putting together, definitely look at the diagram. I had to make sure I had the side pieces turned the right direction, but it's basically just a box, and then you just glue all the little parts and pieces onto it. When I glued the sliding doors in, I did it upside down on purpose because otherwise you'll never get it to stay up in the air if you do it the way they say to. So I laid it down flat, glued it from the back. The first door kind of halfway in the middle, and then the second door all the way to the left side. So it looks like it's slid, but it's glued in place. Next we're going to do the little kitchen cabinet. In the pictures towards the end, it is above the sink. So we're taking these two pieces of wood, gluing them together to make them one thickness, and then all the little beads are little bits and bobs for the kitchen, so jars and plates and bowls, and it's pretty cute when it's all done. One thing I did discover is I do need to put a lot less glue because these little beads just slide all over the place until the glue dries. So just a little dab will do ya, and it'll stick much better for you. And you also make a little vase with probably some spare chopsticks. And so I just cut a little bit of wire, stuck them in the end of the bead, and then stuck it to the shelf. To finish out all our kitchen appliances, we're going to make a fridge. It's very, very easy. It's just a box. So you're just going to put the four sides and then put a front, and then you're going to use their little picture of a fridge and stick it to the front. And ta-da! We got all the parts and pieces done. They're all nice and dry and everything's not going anywhere. So we got a sink, we got a little kitchen cabinet to go over the sink, and a fridge. So that took a while, and the next one up will be probably the living room. So stay tuned for the next video, and I hope you enjoyed this one.